Hey guys, and welcome to this next episode in the Let's Play tutorial. Engineering has been my focus lately, and what I did after my little combat escapade, the the Cobra is obviously a great starter ship to get you started in combat, making money in combat. I did kind of a double-edged thing in the last video where I went to a Sirius system to become allied, right, and also make some money and test out the Cobra build. Now, I've kind of struggled putting this video out because Marco Quent is kind of tough. There's a reason that I suggest going this route, and his name is Professor Palin. Okay, the reason you do it this way is you're going to get access to a grade 4 power plant, and in doing so, you unlock Professor Palin, and that's your thrusters. And that's why I do it this way. You can alternatively go this way, and this is actually a little bit easier if you do Liz Rider. Okay, and she's pretty simple. You got to bring her 200 units of landmines and follow the same theory. I don't really use a lot of missiles, but she does actually grade 1 armor. I'm not sure how great that is, but at any rate, you're going to have to unlock her to grade 3 in order to unlock Hiratani. Okay, and Hiratani is arguably more easy because it's just you have to have Empire rank. I'm not sure if you've done that. And we can get into that later on in the series, but this is an alternative way to get an upgraded power plant. The reason I do it the way that I do it is because in the beginning, this is kind of a slog, right? I mean, either way, honestly, either way is going to be fine because you're going to want Bro eventually too for your lasers. But this is getting into like a territory that I'm not going to take you in because it's getting more advanced in engineering, and at this point you should know how this works, guys. You should already know which way you kind of want to go. The reason I do it this way is because I want access to this grade 5 thrusters as quickly as I can. And we know that we have already access to grade 3 lasers with the Dweller. Right, so the grade 5s are better and you should get them. But it's kind of like I've already got my combat ship built with grade 3 lasers, grade 5 multi-cannons. You know what I mean? So coming down this line is somewhat redundant because you already have G3 lasers, even though G5 are better, of course. But in order to get you a combat ship quickly, I choose to go down this thruster line because the grade 5 thrusters make such a huge difference. But at any rate, so the way that I did it was go to Marco Quent. And Marco Quent is kind of a pain in the butt. So in the last video, like I said, I became allied with Sirius Corporation. So if you take a look at the last Let's Play I did in the Cobra, I went out to a system and did bounty hunting. But however you want to go about getting allied with Sirius Corporation, you just click in an R, you click the Sirius Corporation that I just did, and it's going to list you all the systems that Sirius is in. Where I went was this HIP 8396 because there's a res there, right? And I did bounty hunting. But you can go to any one of these systems and start taking missions and stuff for Sirius Corporation and become allied. So once you do that, you're basically going to be lined up with where this video starts. So without any further ado, let's get into it. And thanks for tuning in. Yeah, and so that's good news. I've landed at this Pro Column system and Cormac Hub, and I mean this is one jump outside of Sirius, and I mean the place I was pretty remote. It was far out, but it was the only place I found that had the res that we could do for Sirius. And you just go to the mission board here, and because we allied with them out there, the faction is also here, so the permit is right there. I can just accept it and we'll head off to Sirius. Okay, and as I'm taking off here, it actually just says you have been issued the Sirius permit, so I don't think I have to do anything. I just have access to it now. Okay, so welcome to this next episode of my Let's Play series. This one we're going to focus on unlocking Marco Quent. So in the last episode we were kind of doing some combat. The last video is basically dedicated to this as well. But we were just kind of do the Let's Play combat. We got the Sirius permit, and now we're in Sirius. And this is the next step. And all you do is go to the mission board now that you have the Sirius permit, and you're going to see that the engineer invitation is there. So we accept that, and we're going to have to deliver daddy to Ashby City, and yeah, and then that's going to be done. So we'll accept that, and you can see that now shows up in our contract, in our contract board, and we have a day to do that. So yeah, we're going to go do that now. So this is probably the worst part of Marco Quent. We have to find these modular terminals. I find the most success finding them in high-tech systems. I went to this high-tech system, LHS 235, and I did find a couple missions. I've accumulated 5 modular terminals so far, but yeah, this is a bit of a pain in the neck, just being honest. So before I get, cargo hatched or something tragic happens, I am going to go deliver these 5 units of modular terminals, you can see here, to Marco Quent, which is in the Sirius system. And we're not far, and we're going to go, I think, find there's a couple of war systems there. Or the system I went to is in war state, so a lot of the mission board is is to do with the war. So I'm going to try and find a new system and hopefully come up with some the remaining 20. So I wanted to touch on the reason I'm doing Quent right now. In order to kind of jumpstart your combat career, the Vulture is a fantastic ship. So it has kind of all the positives of the Cobra. It's a great next step. It suffers, however, from some fairly serious problems. It's not a new player-friendly ship. I've looked at the build, and I could make it work with the engineers that I currently have. But it's a process of shutting down half your ship in order to make the other half work, because it does not have enough power. It in its base, like in the way that you buy it, you A-grade it, in that state it suffers from a fairly serious underpower problem, which doesn't allow you to fit a lot of builds, and for it to be relevant, or at least I would say for it to be what it should be, for it to live up to its potential, you really need to have, at least an overcharge 3 on it. We know that Felicity can overcharge to grade 1, which we did do on the Cobra, but that's still not enough power for the Vulture to be able to actually live up to its potential. So we're going to do this. We're going to unlock Quent so that we can get that level 4 access to the power plant, and then we're going to buy a Vulture and we're going to fit it for combat. Then that's really going to start to allow us to take down some of these larger enemies in combat. We're even going to be able to get into some war zones, which is going to be fun. So yeah, that's what we're doing. That's why we're after Quent right now. And then once we've kind of done it, we're going to buy a Vulture. Okay, so another thing to point out, I've been searching around a little bit, and I'm not having much luck finding the modular terminals, which is pretty normal. They're pretty hard to come by. Now, if you are a member of our squadron, we do have, I know I have on my carrier a stock which we keep private. I know Larithad also has a stock that he keeps private, so please reach out to us if you're looking for this. If you're at this stage, reach out to us. We can help you out with modular terminals. However, you can also just check up on the Inara. Okay, so we went to, well, the way I do, because it's just easier, if you go to Engineers, Marco Quent, it pops right there. You can also find this through the commodities page, and you can see here at exports, we do have a few carriers that are selling them. So this guy's got through. The problem with this is we don't really know if it's a public or private carrier. There's no way to kind of tell whether whether they're allowing. Oh no, it does now. Docking access all. Oh, cool. So yeah, he does allow everyone to board. And this is GSCI. Where is he at? Exports. GS. Yeah, I think we're gonna go here. See if he's still there. Hopefully he's still there. He's saying he's got 35 of them on board and docking access to all. So we're going to go there and see if we can't just buy 20 more. Okay, so we have arrived here in the Quar system, and this carrier is still here. And if we take a look at the in-game menu, it does say docking access all. So that's great. Hopefully he still has those modular terminals, and Anara isn't maybe he put out for one of his friends. And Anara just hasn't updated again since he's given those out. But I'm hoping that his carrier still has, you know, the modular terminals. This is when you're dealing with carriers, this is a player market. So this player could have sold them already, and Anara didn't update. He could have just been trying to give them to a buddy, you know, and so it's kind of because I mean we do that. We'll put them on our market for a very short amount of time, and then sell them off to whoever is looking for them, and then we'll take them off because we don't want public sale. Because I mean modular terminals are hard to come by, right? So we keep them for our squadron members. So that's very possible that that's what's happened here, but maybe we'll get lucky. I'm going to take a look-see and see if I can't get these modular terminals without having to do the mission grind for them. I mean, alternatively, I could log on to my main account and sell them to myself. So, I mean, that's something we might, because honestly, doing those missions, you don't know what you're going to get. It's definitely an RNG-based thing, and it's kind of it can take a long time to find them. There's no doubt about that, because it's you're at the mercy of the mission board, and especially when I know you have a kind of a better chance of at least of just better missions when you're allied with a faction, but you're probably not, right? And it takes some time to get allied and stuff, and there's still not really any guarantee that you're going to get them off the mission board. Yeah, it's kind of one of these very difficult things to find, which is why I mean, like myself, like we do for our squadron. When we're doing missions, you know, for our faction and everything, we're keeping an eye out. When we see a mission that's paying modular terminals, we generally take them and then we just store them on the carrier for our members who are, you know, struggling to get the engineers done at first. So that's definitely an option. If you are a member of the Royal Colonial Guard, do reach out to us because we have them. we have them. There's a couple of us that keep them on our carriers. So yeah, definitely reach out if you're at this stage and you are in our squadron. We don't give them out to public because, like I said, they are tough to come by. We will give them to squadron members like for free, pretty much. We'll sell them at the minimum price, and yeah, just arrange that with us, and we'll make sure that we get you some modular terminals for Marco Quent. Okay, so we're going to check out the commodities market on this carrier. And we're going to look for these modular terminals. This guy actually has a ton of stuff on here. Whoa. Yeah, and negative. He does not have them on the market anymore. This guy actually has a lot of stuff on his carrier, though. But nope, the modular terminals are gone, so this is a bust. Okay, so we have made arrangements, you know, with Commander Adama of the Royal Colonial Guard to sell me some of these modular terminals. I only need 20. Like I said, I did get 5 of them already. So we have landed here on Royal Colonial 1. And if everything worked out okay, we should have on the commodity market here modular terminals. And I'm going to take 20 of them. So that's all I need. It's 20. And there we go. As you can see, I have 115 left. So guys, if you are in need, please reach out. And so we're going to go and take these to Sirius now and unlock Quent. Okay, we have landed back at the engineer, Marco Quent. So I want to kind of have a second to fully kind of talk about modular terminals. The best way to find modular terminals is in high-tech systems. So you just have to run missions there until you find a mission that's giving you modular terminals. This can be easy. it can be difficult. It really depends. Your mileage can vary. It depends on your luck, is essentially what it boils down to. And that's what you have to do if you don't know someone that has them. Alternatively to that, you can search an R for them. You might, of course, it depends on if you get lucky and there's a carrier that's selling them around you. You can go that way, try and find them on a carrier, go visit a couple of carriers, see if you get lucky and they're actually still on the carrier's commodity board, and you could pick them up that way. The way that I've done it, I did get 5 of them through doing missions, and I delivered those. And then my main account, I have a stock of them in the Royal Colonial Guard. We have a couple of commanders that keep a stock of modular terminals, and if you are a member of our squadron, please reach out to us and we can help you ease this burden of finding the modular terminals. But I have done that. I'm gonna look at actually the outfitting, because I want to get what I'm doing is I want to get a vulture built up. So yeah, the vulture has a class 4. Does he have it? Of course he doesn't. So I can't do this right now. I am gonna try. This concludes unlocking Marco Quent. We've already kind of touched on it. I'm going to build a vulture for the next Let's Play, and as far as I'm concerned, if I decide that I'm going to cover more engineers, I will of course record that, but for the purposes of building a combat ship or any ship for PvE, you can do it now. We have every engineer unlocked that we're going to need to do that sort of thing, so that's fantastic. If we look at Anara again, so what you're going to do is you're going to use Elvira for your shield generators and your shield cell bank. You're of course going to use the Dweller for your power distributor and your lasers. Okay, and you're going to use Felicity Farseer. You can also use Elvira for frameshift drive, but you're going to use Felicity for her frameshift drive. You're going to use her for grade 1 shield boosters. Yeah, and then you're going to use, of course, Todd the Blaster for your multi-cannons, your rail guns, your fragment cannons, or your regular cannons. I don't use cannons, but very useful for those 3: rail guns, multi-cannons, fragment cannons. And you're going to use Marco Quent for the grade 4 power plant. And between these ones, you can put together a fantastic, as we outlined, you can see the Cobra. We're gonna build a vulture, and you're gonna see just how much better the vulture does at combat than the Cobra does. And we're going to use, it's exactly what we're going to do. So if you do this, guys, you can see Marco Quent was that probably took me as much time to do as all 4 of those put together. So these 4 are pretty easy to do. Marco Quent is a little bit of a grind, but if you do him, you're going to be able to build a really great vulture. And you're really going to start to become relevant in the combat scene, and I know that's what a lot of people want, especially as beginners. And yeah, like, so now we are at a position, we have the funds, we have the engineers, we're going to be able to put together a fantastic vulture build, and that's going to be the next video. The next Let's Play is going to be building that vulture and taking it out into combat, and I'll show you just how great it can be. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we will catch you next time on the next episode of this Let's Play series.